Good evening. This is Akashwani. I am VC Pramod with the news at 9. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi becomes first Indian to receive highest national award of Mauritius. Addresses Indian diaspora in Port Louis. India is best positioned in Asia for economic growth despite global trade tensions, says a Morgan Stanley report. Test books for all 22 scheduled languages and English to be digitised under Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak Yojana, says Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan in Rajya Sabha. Pakistani train with over 450 passengers taken hostage by armed militants in Balochistan's Mach area. World Para Athletics Grand Prix 2025 begins in New Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has become the first Indian to receive highest civilian award of Mauritius, Grand Commander of the Order of the Star and Key of the Indian Ocean. Mauritius Prime Minister Dr. Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam made the announcement during an Indian diaspora event in Port Louis this evening. The honour also adds to Mr. Modi's growing list of international accolades, making it the 21st such recognition. Addressing the Indian community, Prime Minister Modi thanked the people and the government of Mauritius for giving him the country's highest civilian honour. He said this is not just an honour for him, but an honour for the historic bond between India and Mauritius.
मॉरिशस के लोगों ने, यहाँ की सरकार ने और जैसा अभी प्रधानमंत्री जी ने घोषित किया, मुझे अपना सर्वोच्च नागरिक सम्मान देने का फैसला लिया है। मैं आपके निर्णय को विनम्रता से स्वीकार करता हूं। ये भारत और मॉरिशस के ऐतिहासिक रिश्तों का सम्मान है। ये उन भारतीयों का सम्मान है जिन्होंने पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी इस धरती की खूब सेवा की। आज मॉरिशस को इस ऊंचाई पर लेकर आए हैं।
Mr. Modi said the deep-rooted cultural connection between the two countries is evident in the warmth of the diaspora.
यहाँ हमारे पूर्वज बिहार हो, यूपी हो, भारत के दूसरे हिस्सों से लाए गए थे। भाषा, बोली, खान पान के हिसाब से देखें तो मॉरिशस में मिनी हिंदुस्तान बसता है। ये लघु भारत है। भारत की अनेक पीढ़ियों ने मॉरिशस को फिल्मी पर्दे पर भी देखा है।
In a special gesture, Prime Minister Modi also announced the issuance of Overseas Citizen of India (OCI) cards to his Mauritian counterpart Naveen Ramgoolam and his spouse Veena Ramgoolam. Mauritius Prime Minister thanked Prime Minister Modi and Government of India for granting OCI cards to the 7th generation of Indian descent. The community event was attended by more than 3,500 people, including members of the Mauritius Cabinet, government officials and National Assembly members. Later tonight, Prime Minister Modi will hold a bilateral meeting with his Mauritian counterpart Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam. Prime Minister Modi met Mauritius President Dharam Gokul in Port Louis today, and the two leaders exchanged views on deepening the special and close bilateral ties. Mr. Modi also extended several gifts that reflected India's cultural and agricultural heritage. In a special gesture, Prime Minister Modi handed over OCI cards to President Gokul and First Lady Vrinda Gokul. Among the gifts presented to President Gokul include holy water from the Mahakumbh, a sacred offering from the recent religious gathering held at the confluence of the Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati rivers at Prayagraj in Uttar Pradesh.
महाकुंभ विजय संपन्न हुआ। दुनिया का सबसे बड़ा ये इवेंट मानव जाति के इतिहास का करीब 66 करोड़ लोग वहाँ आए। तो जिस मुहूर्त में ये महाकुंभ होता है उसी मुहूर्त का ये गंगा जल है।
In addition to it, Prime Minister Modi gifted makhana, a superfood from Bihar, highlighting India's agricultural diversity. Mr. Modi also presented a beautiful Banarasi sari to the First Lady of Mauritius. After the talks, President Gokul hosted a state lunch in honor of Prime Minister Modi. Mr. Modi also visited the Ayurveda garden in the State House, established in collaboration with the Government of India. The Prime Minister noted that Mauritius is an important partner for India in advancing the benefits benefits of traditional medicine, including Ayurveda. Earlier in the day, Prime Minister Modi paid homage to former President of Mauritius, Sir Anirudh Jugnauth, and former Prime Minister of Mauritius, Sir Sivo Sagur Ramgoolam, at Sir Sivo Sagur Ramgoolam Botanical Garden in Pamplemousse. Prime Minister Modi planted a sapling with his Mauritius counterpart Naveen Chandra Ramgoolam at the Botanical Garden, symbolizing the growing ties between the two nations. Prime Minister Modi reached Port Louis this morning on a 2-day visit to the island nation. Upon his arrival this morning, Mr. Modi received a warm and ceremonial welcome with a Bhojpuri Geet Gavai performance from Mauritius leaders, including Prime Minister Ramgoolam, marking the strong relationship between India and Mauritius. And now we go over live to our correspondent Vikalp Shukla, who's covering the Prime Minister's visit. Vikalp, what were the highlights of Prime Minister Modi's address to the Indian community?
Yes, Pramod, the Prime Minister started his speech in Bhojpuri and addressing a community event at the Triano Convention Center in Mauritius today. The Prime Minister said that bond of faith between India and Mauritius is a very big basis for friendship between the two countries. He said that many families from Mauritius have come to the Mahakumbh held in Prayagraj, India. For those families who could not come to the Mahakumbh due to some reasons, he has brought the water of the Holy Sangam, which will be offered at the Ganga Talab in Mauritius tomorrow. The Prime Minister said that India will document about indentured labor. Research will be done for this, and in the future, a World Indentured Labor Conference will also be organized. The Prime Minister said that for India, Mauritius is not just a country, but a family. Pramod.
That's right. Vikalp, give us the details of Prime Minister Modi's meeting with the President of Mauritius earlier in the day.
Yes, Pramod, the two leaders exchanged views on deepening the special and close bilateral ties between India and Mauritius. In this context, they recalled the shared history between the two countries and the existence of strong people-to-people linkages. Pramod.
Thank you, Vikalp, for that update. Thank you so much. Prime Minister Modi will attend the Mauritius National Day celebrations as the chief guest tomorrow. India is the best positioned country in Asia for economic growth despite ongoing global trade tensions. According to a report by Morgan Stanley, India's strong services exports, low reliance on goods exports, and supportive government policies as key factors that will help it outperform other economies in the region. While trade tensions are expected to impact Asia's overall growth outlook, India remains less vulnerable due to its low goods exports as a share of the GDP. This reduces its exposure to global trade disruptions. At the same time, India's services exports continue to perform well and are expected to grow further, providing stability amid global uncertainties. President Draupadi Murmu has said that doctors and researchers have a big role to play in ensuring a healthy society. Addressing the first convocation of the All India Institute of Medical Sciences AIIMS at Bhatinda today, the President appealed to AIIMS doctors to conduct research in consultation with agricultural and environmental experts to raise awareness about adopting a healthy lifestyle and better farming methods. The President said that people should be made aware of the physical and mental harm caused by drug addiction.
नशाखोरी की आदत न केवल व्यक्ति और परिवार, समाज बल्कि देश और अर्थव्यवस्था को भी हानि पहुंचाती। इस व्यसन से लोगों को मुक्त कराना में चिकित्सकों की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है। उन्हें उचित परामर्श और उपचार उपलब्ध कराया जाना चाहिए। नशों की लत से होने वाले शारीरिक और मानसिक नुकसान के बारे में उन्हें जागरूक करना चाहिए।
This is Akashwani giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our X handle @AIR News Alerts. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download the News on AIR app. Union Minister of Education Dharmendra Pradhan has said this year's union budget has provided for the implementation of the Bharatiya Bhasha Pustak Yojana, which will see textbooks digitized for all 22 scheduled languages as well as English. Replying to a discussion on the working of the Ministry of Education in the Rajya Sabha today, the minister stressed that Indianness is an important component of the policy of the Narendra Modi government.
हमारी एक दृष्टिकोण है भारत की सभ्यता को कैसे देखना। भारतीयता के ऊपर हमारी एक नाज है, भारतीय भाषाओं के ऊपर हमारी नाज है। इसलिए इस बार की बजट में भारतीय भाषा पुस्तक योजना, भारत में 22 शेड्यूल लैंग्वेज है, उसके ऊपर इंग्लिश भी है 23। भारत की 22 शेड्यूल लैंग्वेज में कम से कम 1000 पाठ्य पुस्तक 22 भाषाओं में। शायद तमिलनाडु की मैथमेटिक्स की पुस्तक आसाम के विद्यार्थियों को काम आएगी, शायद पंजाब की लिटरेचर की कोई विषय शायद उड़ीसा में इंस्पायर करेगा, शायद उड़ीसा की कोई पाठ्य पुस्तक गुजरात को इंस्पायर करेगा।
Mr. Pradhan also informed that internet broadband will be installed in all secondary schools, and this work has been given to BharatNet. Mr. Pradhan added that 500 crore rupees has been allocated this time for AI in education. Mr. Pradhan said in the national education policy, no language has been imposed. He said NEP is meant for mother tongue based education. The minister said that multilingualism is the need of the moment. The minister added that over 1,28,000 crore rupees has been allocated to education in the union budget this year, which is 6.22% more than the previous year. Earlier, initiating the discussion, Digvijay Singh of Congress talked about skilling and training of teachers. Ghanshyam Tiwari of BJP said that the central government has taken several steps to transform the educational system of the country. Ritibrata Banerjee of TMC said that union expenditure on education in the budget has been 0.37% of the GDP, which should be increased. After the reply of the minister, the upper house was adjourned for the day. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has said that the centre is providing all financial assistance to support the faster recovery of the economy in Manipur. She was replying to the discussion on the second batch of supplementary demands for grant for 2024-25 and Manipur budget in the Lok Sabha this evening. She said with collective efforts of the centre and state, there has been improvement in the overall law and order situation in Manipur. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has said that Northeast students will not need to leave their region for work and they will get employment opportunities there. Mr. Shah said this while addressing the students from the Northeast at the Youth Parliament organised by Students' Experience in Interstate Living SEIL in New Delhi today. Government today banned two terror outfits, Awami Action Committee AAC and Jammu and Kashmir Ittihadul Muslimin JKIM. Both groups have been declared as unlawful association by the Ministry of Home Affairs under Unlawful Activities Prevention Act. Notifications issued by the ministry said AAC and JKIM are indulging in unlawful activities which are prejudicial to the integrity, sovereignty and security of the country. In Pakistan, at least 6 military personnel were killed and over 450 passengers of the Peshawar-Quetta Jafar Express have been taken hostage after the train came under attack from militants in Balochistan's Mach area today. Media reports quoted a spokesperson for the Balochistan government, Shahid Rind, saying that the train, which was travelling from Quetta in Balochistan province to Peshawar in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, came under heavy fire during the assault, leading to its derailment. India's first ever World Para-Athletics Grand Prix began at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium in New Delhi today. The three-day event will feature over 90 competitions, bringing together top para-athletes from across the globe. In the Women's Premier League cricket, Royal Challengers Bengaluru have set a target of 200 runs against Mumbai Indians in the ongoing final league match at the Brabourne Stadium in Mumbai. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi becomes first Indian to receive highest national award of Mauritius. Addresses Indian diaspora in Port Louis. India is best positioned in Asia for economic growth despite global trade tensions, says a Morgan Stanley report. Pakistani train with over 450 passengers taken hostage by armed militants in Balochistan's Mach area. World Para-Athletics Grand Prix 2025 begins in New Delhi. And in Women's Premier League cricket, Royal Challengers Bengaluru set target of 200 runs against Mumbai Indians in ongoing final league match in Mumbai. And that's all in the news at 9. Good night.